Dice cosas de tu vida.
Porque me
No te
siento
pregunto tu
mal.
vida pasada, eso fue pasado.
My problem is that I have a problem with liars.
Day Fiance, The Other Way, Season 4, Episode 5, I believe. 3 moments that just, we have to discuss. All right, number 1 moment that you and I need to discuss. In this episode, Danielle and Johan meet up with one of Danielle's friends. And I don't think, did they tell us this? Danielle's friend, it seems like, is from the Dominican Republic or like has ties there. Anyway, she speaks the language really well and she's communicating with Johan, and she finds out from Johan that one of his ex-partners, ex-girlfriend or something, got pregnant by him and then decided to end the pregnancy. And the friend told Danielle that this happened. Okay, Danielle got really upset. And it's not so much that they ended the pregnancy, but that Johan didn't tell her explicitly that that's what happened with the pregnancy. Johan said, I told you I got a woman pregnant in the past and I told you that the pregnancy ended. What more did you want? Like, I told you what I told you. It's all the same. Danielle says, no, it's not the same. You were lying by omission. And that's one, basically like one line that I can't have crossed. You have to be honest with me. I was just waiting for the moment when Johan would look at her and say like, that's that woman's business. Maybe I didn't want to share that all on TV. Maybe that was just something in my past that I didn't want to discuss all with you. I think that's okay. Even if you're married, people have pasts and you don't need to know all the details. But what really got me about this is this not the same woman who was at episode 1 of the season, came down to the Dominican Republic to spend time with her husband, stood next to him in an interview with producers, and laughed that he did not understand English. So she could say very candidly that even though I've told him that I want to bring him back to the United States with me, and that's the agreement that we have, I've actually changed my mind and I want to stay here in the Dominican Republic. Is that not lying by omission? Is that not misleading her husband on national TV? How then can she just a few episodes later really freak out at him at not telling her these details about a relationship he had in the past that's over, that really has no impact on his current relationship? I just don't get the nerve. Okay, this next moment is just weird. Chris and Jamie, their whole relationship is odd to me, and I hope they're not together right now because it's weird. So as you might remember, Chris and Jamie went years without seeing each other or meeting each other. They finally did meet each other, and then they said within 7 or 8 days of her landing in Colombia, I believe, they were going to get married. Like within a week of meeting each other in person for the first time. Well, this is a tumultuous week because every time we see Chris and Jamie together, Chris is sharing dropping a new bombshell on her fiance. This time, Chris is apparently a weapons enthusiast. And of all the places, imagine you are moving to a new city, a new part of the world, a place you've never been with someone who is supposed to be the love of your life. And you say you want to go to the weapons store? Of all things, that's what she wants to do. Chris then, spends time looking at all of the weapons. And she talks about how even when she was a child growing up in Alabama, that was like her 8th birthday present. She got a huge knife and like, what the heck? Jamie is looking at her like, what? Anyway, what is shocking to me is that if you're in a relationship for years, was it 2 years like they've been, wouldn't you share like this big part of yourself? If it was a real relationship, wouldn't you say, this is something that I have enjoyed since childhood. This is something I'm going to continue to enjoy for the rest of my life. And how that shows up in my life is that I have the stuff in my house. It doesn't seem like they've talked about that because Jamie seems shocked that Chris was so interested in this. And I just wonder, what are you talking about for 2 years? If not about this hobby that you've had, this interest and passion that you've had since you were a child. Now you're in your 40s, I think. So for many years, You were into this. What else have y'all been talking about? Okay, the last moment that I want to share that just was so what in this episode. Jen and Rishi. So as you know, Jen and Rishi have supposedly been engaged for like 2 years, but Rishi's family still doesn't know that she's more than just a friend. And so in this episode, we see Jen go over to Rishi's home that he shares with his mother, his uncle, his sister's husband. It's like a whole family situation. And they're all kind of like, you know, hey, nice to see you again. What are you doing here? And she very awkwardly says, you know, I moved here. I moved to this random town on the other side of the world. And we're supposed to believe that they're not putting 2 and 2 together and getting like, oh, y'all are really together. Anyway, what was really weird to me in all of these moments where Rishi and Jen are talking about her family or his family, or they're actually talking with his family, is the look on Rishi's face. So many times he's lying to people he loves. So many times he's misleading Jen or giving information that's inaccurate, and he's smiling. Now, sometimes, you know, I know people smile because they're uncomfortable or because they're just not sure what else to do. But to me, looking at Rishi in these moments, he looks happy. He looks pleased. I feel like he is enjoying the chaos that he is starting. And that seems a little devilish. That seems a little off-putting. I hope that Jen is aware of it. I don't know if she is, but I hope that she is. But yeah, the way that Rishi seemed to be enjoying the deception of all of it was really strange. Okay, now it was a whole 2-hour episode. That's a long time. And there were a lot of moments in here that were weird and unfortunate. Those are just the 3 that stood out to me. But if you watched the episode, let me know, what are some moments that stood out to you that are just like red flag, red alert, something's not right here? Let me know either down in the comments or we'll just see each other in the next video, because these people, they still got a lot going on, and we still got to see Debbie and Osama. I can't wait for them to get together and us to see what's going on there. All right, take care. Bye.